Morning students, hope you all are well. So this chapter sense organ actually not there in your syllabus, but actually it is included with the nervous system, not the full part, only the eyes and the ears. Okay, now what we have to do, that the structure of eyes we have to study. So for the eyes, actually the first, that is our orbit. So two eyes are located in the deep sockets or in the orbits on the front side of our head. Okay, and it is associated with six muscles. Now next is our eyelid. So the upper and lower movable eyelids protect the our outer surface of our eyes, and can shut out light. Means whenever light fall on our eyes, we can close it. Okay, and the eyelids carries curved eyelashes which prevent falling of any particles inside the eye. Next is eyebrows. Although these are virtually not a part, means directly it is not a part of our eye, but it is also sometimes act as a protective, protects us and prevent the raindrops, okay, or perspiration that is getting into our eyes. Next is the tear gland, which is also known as the lacrimal gland. Okay, so you can see in this figure lacrimal duct, and in this portion, in this nasal portion, actually lacrimal sac is there, but the lacrimal gland is present on the upper side of our eye. You can see in this diagram. Okay, so these are actually located at the upper side of sideward portion of our orbit. Okay, so 6 to 12 ducts of the gland pour their secretion over our front surface whenever there is any emotional condition. Okay, now the movement of eyelids spread the liquid which mainly serve as a lubricant, and tears keep our eyes clean, and it wash away all the dust particles. And inside the tears, one antiseptic enzyme is there, means one enzyme is there, that is called the lysozyme, which has an antiseptic property that kills the germs. Okay, now the tear ducts. So these ducts actually are associated with the tear gland, and which is located in the inner angle of the eye, and that is actually nasocrimal duct. Okay, that that conducts the secretion into the nasal cavity. So from the tear means from the lacrimal ducts or tear ducts, it will come into our nasal cavity. Okay, so due to irritation or in some certain emotional states, the tear gland pour a lot of liquid or a lot of tears inside our eyes, that waters the eyes or sometimes overflows as tears. So function of tears: it lubricates the surface of eye, it washes the dust particle, it kills the germs, and it communicates emotion. Next is conjunctiva. Okay, so conjunctiva is a thin membrane that cover the entire part of the eye. Okay, 11.2 conjunctiva. You can see in this figure that white portion, outer portion, that is the conjunctiva. So it is a very thin membrane, actually covers the outer part of the eye. Over the cornea, it is reduced as a single layer of transparent epithelium. And whenever you heard this name, that conjunctivitis, almost all of you are having at least for one time this disease. So whenever there is inflammation in this conjunctiva region, so that causes conjunctivitis, actually due to the viral infection. Now we have to study the proper structure of our eyeball. Okay, so the wall of the eyeball is composed of three layers, actually: outer sclerotic layer, middle choroid layer, and the inner retina. Okay, so outer sclerotic layer, or it is known as sclera, so it is made of some fibrous tissue, and it is white in color. Okay, so the front portion See, see here, sclera, then choroid, then retina. Sclera is the white color at the back side, okay. Then in the middle portion, that is black in color, which is black in color, that is the choroid region, and the yellow color, that is the retina. Fine. Okay, so uh, it bulges out and become the transparent in front of the region where it covers the colored part of the eye, and this part is called cornea. See which part is cornea? The bulges out portion inside the conjunctiva, and that is actually the sclerotic layer. See, this it is a continuation of the sclerotic layer. So the sclerotic layer bulges out in front of inside the cornea, so that is sorry, in front of conjunctiva, that is actually cornea. Okay, then the next layer then the next layer is the choroid layer, which is richly supplied with the blood vessels. Why? To provide nourishment to our eye. Okay, so you have seen that it is dark in color or black in color. Why? Because the melanin pigment is present there. So melanin pigment actually prevents the light rays from reflecting and scattering inside the eye, so it is black in color. Okay, now one in the choroid layer, it expands actually to form a circular muscles or the ciliary body. Okay, see here, see here in this diagram, the choroid layer the black layer in the front portion, it is extended and form the ciliary body, which is the muscular smooth muscles. Okay, next is iris. It is also an extension of the choroid layer and partially cover the lens. Okay, so the choroid layer actually partially covers the lens and leaving a circular opening at the center, that is the pupil. Okay, so pupil, see, you can see this hollow portion, that is actually the pupil. Okay, and iris is this two portion which is connecting the lens, which make a connection between the lens. Okay, so the blue, brown or the black color of our eye, it actually refers the color of the iris. Okay, so the iris actually contains radial muscle which can widen and circular muscles to constrict the pupil. Contraction and relaxation of the pupil, which are connected with the radial muscles and also circular muscles. So the adjustment of the size of pupil regulates the amount of light which is entering into our eyes. Next layer, that is the retina, which is yellow in color. Okay, so it has the sensitive cells, that is the rod and cone cells. Okay, which cells? Rod cells and cone cells of our eyes. Okay, so rod cells are they are very sensitive to dim light. Okay, rod cells are sensitive to dim light but do not respond to the color. Means in dim light, which pigment help to see, means which pigment help us to see, that is the rod cell or the rhodopsin. So this rod cell contain a pigment, that is rhodopsin. Okay, so the rod cells are distributed almost throughout the retina, and the cone cells, it is actually it contains another pigment, that is rhodopsin, and it is cone cells, it contains iodopsin, and it is sensitive to bright light. Okay, and are responsible for our color vision. So the cone cell mostly confined to a region, that is the yellow spot. Here you can see yellow spot or macula lutea. So that is actually the yellow spot which contain the cone cells and the iodopsin, and which is responsible for our color vision. Okay, So yellow spot, the area of best vision. So it is the distribution of rod and cone is not actually uniform. One particular spot called the macula lutea or the yellow spot, which is means actually lies at the horizontal axis of the eyeball and actually in the center of the retina. Okay, so this spot actually contains most maximum number of the sensory cells, okay, which help us to see in bright light, or which help us for our color vision. That means rhodopsin, that means iodopsin. And blind spot means the area of no vision. That means no sensory cells is present at that region. Okay, so lateral to the yellow spot there is a small spot, that is actually blind spot. See, in the second diagram it is given, just see here also it is given the black portion in the front portion of optic nerve. You can see one black portion is given, that is actually the blind spot. That means in that region no sensory cells are present. That is the point of no vision. That means no rhodopsin, no iodopsin. That means no rod cell and no cone cells are present there. So this difference between rod and cone cells you have to learn. Okay, now the lens. So it is a transparent, flexible, biconvex crystalline body, okay, which is just located just behind the pupil. It is attached with the ciliary body and some ligaments, suspensory ligaments, okay. And the ciliary body contains muscle which on contraction and relaxation actually changes the shape of the lens. And we are having two chambers in our eyes, that is aqueous humor and vitreous humor. So aqueous humor actually it is the front chamber between lens and cornea. It is filled with a clear liquid, okay. And next is the vitreous humor, that is the large cavity of the eyeball that behind the lens, okay. So it is filled with some jelly like thicker fluid, and it gives means the shape of the eyeball, and it also protects retina and the nerve endings. And here this aqueous humor, it keeps the lens moist and it protects from any kind of physical injury, and it also reflects the light. See, aqueous humor and vitreous humor. See this portion, this whole red color portion is vitreous humor and aqueous humor in the front portion. As in the next diagram it is given, aqueous humor is this front line, the front one space is there, that is aqueous humor.